Hello, everyone, and welcome to this edition of the Daily Cannon Tactics Board. Stephen Bradley here. I'm back. Happy days. I'm okay. We'll get straight into the game. Bringing you the tactical tweaks and quirks that came from Arsenal's 3-1 thumping of Tottenham Hotspur today. A glorious result, a fantastic performance, and a game that allows me to make up for missing the last couple of months because of my ill health, let's just say. Again, I'm fine. I just needed literally just take a break from everything. The head wasn't okay. I'm all right now. Thank you. But there have been a lot of tactical shifts made over the last couple of months, and this game is a perfect example of it in essence, and you can take all of this on board with just describing one player, and that's Granit Xhaka. And he's redemption, so to speak, was completed by today's performance, and I'll go into exactly how Mikel Arteta has solved the problem of how to fit Granit Xhaka into this team, because for 5 years we didn't have a clue, and now he's found a place. He's found his role and is completely different to what any of us thought it would be. If you do like this sort of video, feel free to leave a like at the bottom of the video. If you want these, in your inbox on a regular basis, hit subscribe. Again, if this pops up in your inbox, you go, "Oh, he's back! Fantastic!" If you want to, keep seeing them, I will endeavour to do my best and get back on an even keel and get back to what I love doing, which is recording these videos for all of you. So, and if you want to see the channel on a regular basis, hit subscribe. Any support is welcome. Comment down below if you see anything in the game today that I've missed, and let's get straight into it. This team is weird, and I don't mind saying that. Like, a lot of it is not a carbon copy of Manchester City's tactics, but because they brought in the likes of Gabriel Jesus and Zinchenko, there is a lot of similarity in the way Arsenal's at least set up on the ball that City do as well. But the biggest difference in the way City play and the way Arsenal play is Granit Xhaka. And when I say Arteta has fixed the problem, what I mean is this. You have to think in terms of players, in terms of space, in terms of what space are they covering in the field, what area of the pitch are they responsible of. Like Gabriel is responsible for this bit, Saliba this bit, White this bit, Saka this bit, etc., etc. And ever since Granit Xhaka has been at the club, he's been responsible for this bit, basically. And as we know, as we have seen over the years, he doesn't have the athleticism to do both this and this. And as a result, we've all focused on getting him to do this bit. And he can't. I don't think that's a slight on him. It's not his game. And as a result, most of us wanted a replacement for him. I think you could still make the case that a replacement is needed, but the reason why Xhaka is playing so well is because Arteta has come in. Yes, it's been 2.5 years, but he's come in finally at the start of the season going, right, I'm playing the way I want to play. None of this 5 at the back crap. None of this, Tierney being centre back and playing left back at the same time. I'm playing the way I want to play. I'm taking risks. I'm making sure that I get as many bodies in the box as possible so that I can score as many goals as possible. And to do that, you need to push players forward, and that's what he does. Zinchenko has been brought in. Zinchenko is a midfielder. So when Arsenal have the ball, he plays midfield. So this means Xhaka doesn't need to be here. It also means that all of this space is now Zinchenko's to cover, and that's a problem. It's a lot to ask for a player to cover all of this, and this is the Achilles heel in Arsenal's formation. It is the gamble that Arsenal take. To push so many players forward, they will leave this areas free. And Manchester United exploited it to great effect a couple of weeks ago, and Tottenham tried to today, but because Kulusevski wasn't fit, they couldn't do really a lot with it apart from Richarlison just running into space, and he did it once and he got a penalty. But that was it. But when Zinchenko goes here with the ball, and Partey is here sitting, suddenly Xhaka doesn't have to worry about this bit. So instead, we literally be looking at the problem the wrong way around. We were all focusing on why Xhaka can only focus on this bit, but Arteta said, "Well, no, I'm just going to reverse it. I'm just going to put you here. I'm going to make you focus on this bit. I'm gonna make you the runner. I'm gonna make you the overload guy. I'm gonna make you the person that these all have to worry about popping up here, popping up there, popping up anywhere, because you can do that." And with Zinchenko here and Martinelli basically playing as almost as a left wing back that marshals all of this area, Xhaka can afford to take gambles and go here. He can afford to take gambles and go there. Because he knows if he's last man up, Jesus will, if the ball comes around here, Jesus will track. Martinelli will track. Zinchenko will track. Partey will track. Odegaard will track. He has help. No longer is he left here at times when Gabriel has gone forward and he's there suddenly sitting by himself going, help. What do I do? Now he's the furthest forward at times. So now he's got 9 red shirts behind him. Give me Zinchenko back. And as a result, he's free from having to worry about defending. He still defends. Again, he pops in again and again from time to time when a team has the ball. Zinchenko will fill in at left back and he will drop deep. And Arsenal will go basically this shape and just sit. And Odegaard and Jesus will run after the ball. If the ball goes wide, Xhaka will go and Partey will go and try and trap him that side. If it goes over this side, Xhaka and Martinelli and Zinchenko will do the same thing. But why it worked so well against Spurs today was because with Martinelli having so much freedom on the left to do whatever he wants, Spurs had basically said, look, we're going to double up here. Every time Xhaka gets the ball, he has to run into these two. Every time Martinelli gets the ball, he has to run into these two. So Højbjerg would sit back, Bentancur would sit back, Jesus would find space in the channel, and then Xhaka would sit here, Odegaard would go here, Zinchenko would sit here, Partey would sit here, and then Kane has to come all the way back. And suddenly, at times, the game's like this. And now, these two centre-backs are doing nothing. They're actually doing nothing because Dyer should be able to man-mark Jesus one-on-one. He can't, but he should. So now, Romero has to go here, or Longley has to go here. But if those three are doing nothing, if they're just standing there all along, if Martinelli can beat one of these two, suddenly Zinchenko's free because Højbjerg has to watch Xhaka. And then everything starts to break down. And that's exactly how the first goal happens. Because Arsenal just spent the guts of about 3 minutes basically stretching this white line out, getting it as far away from each other as possible, and doing this. And just, the ball would go out here, Richarlison would be, he was sloppy pressing today. Martinelli would get it Royal, beat him usually, which would then drag Romero and Højbjerg over, which means everyone has to come over. To which Arsenal will go, grand, no problem, ping, straight back all over to this side, to the Zinchenko, to Partey, to Odegaard, to Xhaka. And now everyone has to run back and do this, and they gotta go back, and they gotta make sure they maintain their lines and their spaces and whatnot. And if Xhaka can't get past, and Odegaard and Xhaka can't get past these three, it goes to White, it goes to Partey, Zinchenko will drop deep, and suddenly Martinelli's free, and then the ball comes over here, and then suddenly everyone comes back, and they're like this. And then again, the ball comes back over here, and now Saka's free. Perisic comes over, Longley comes over, Odegaard makes a dummy run, Son tries to help Perisic, doesn't work, Dyer tries to cover, Bentancur has Xhaka, Romero has Jesus, Højbjerg has Zinchenko, Richarlison and Royal are still making sure Martinelli doesn't have anyone, and Partey's free. It's moving the ball from side to side, getting this white line all discombobulated. And then it's a case of, well, there's your shot. Take it. And he did, and he pounds it into the top corner, and it's a brilliant goal. That's what Arsenal are able to do now. They are able to tear brilliantly organised defensive sides like Spurs apart just by consistently changing the point of attack. Because at no stage can Royal or Richardson know whether Martinelli's going to do this or this. They have to respect the fact that he can go there, and they have to respect the fact that he can go there, and they have to respect the fact that Xhaka can now do that. So there's the constant threat of three things happening at once. You can't defend all of them. And eventually space comes, and eventually someone makes a mistake, and eventually there's space. And then you score. The counter to that is exactly what I said. It's exactly how Spurs got their goal. When Zinchenko is here and everyone's forward, Bentancur high, Martinelli's up here. When Spurs launch basically a clearance, this is free. And you know, like when you consider the rest of the Arsenal's half, basically, you know, the only place where Tottenham got the ball on a regular basis was here. Now, again, the only thing they were able to do was, you know, they got a free kick here, which they nearly scored off, and they got a run in from Richarlison, who baited a poor challenge from Gabriel, wins a penalty. It's a dive, but he wins a penalty. They go 1-1. But that was it. That was the sum total of Spurs' attacks all game. At no stage did they try and put 15, 20 passes together. It was ping, ping, back there, and then bang, straight here, looking to exploit the space behind Zinchenko if he was cut upfield, because Martinelli was playing so far forward. That was it. And that's what you're going to get with Arsenal these days. That's always going to be free. It's the trade-off. It's we're going to have an extra man in midfield to knock the ball around, and we're going to try and exploit these numbers, and we're going to try and create space. In return, we're going to give you that. And after the first half, 1-1, both sides had, like I said, Spurs had two good chances. Arsenal had a lot of half chances. And you're like, who's going to create the next big chance? And it was Arsenal. And it was from doing the exact same thing for the first goal. Except this time, instead of Partey taking the shot, Xhaka gets it himself. Because Perisic and Son are now almost showing him outside. They're now, you know, they're like, look, you're not getting in again. You're not finding this free space. So we're going to go over here a little bit more. We're going to cut the inside. Xhaka goes grand, no problem. Beats them, takes a shot. And Lloris just falls on it. And isn't it nice to have a world-class number 9 at the club again? You know, like, isn't it? It's a pure gamble. He's like, he might spill it, he might not. But I'll be there if he does. And he gets there half a foot ahead of Romero, sticks his toe in, 2-1. And now Tottenham have to chase the game again. And for 15 minutes, Tottenham couldn't get the ball. It was a masterclass in how to close a game off, where it was Arsenal at 2-1, basically said, right, okay, you're going to chase the game? No problem at all. Here's what we're going to do. Saka's going to go as far wide right as possible. Odegaard's going to drop there. Zinchenko will be here. Partey will be here. Xhaka will basically go there. And we're going to knock the ball around, and we dare you to come out of your shell. Because if you're going to sit there like that all game, hoping to God that we make a mistake, well, we're just going to knock the ball around. Here. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 against 3. And Højbjerg and Bentancur did not move from there all game. And every time the ball went wide, Royal would try to get to Martinelli, would get beaten repeatedly by Martinelli, and then eventually Royal just goes, look, I'm sick of this, I'm just going to kick you. Take me a yellow card, I'm sick and tired of being beaten again and again. But he couldn't even do that right, stamps on the back of his foot and gets sent off. And just like this is the difference between inaction and action, right? 2-3 weeks ago against Manchester United, Arsenal went 2-1 down, and Arteta immediately made 3 subs. And it took a minute and a half for Arsenal to get back to some sort of cohesion. But by the time they had, Rashford had darted in and scored a third. It was 3-1 and it was all over. Tottenham didn't react quick enough. They were the opposite. They were trying to get, Romero at right back, Dyer at Longley, Perisic to play at left back, try and sort out some 4-4-1 formation, and the ball comes in from Martinelli. Dyer goes to Jesus, Romero goes to Martinelli, Xhaka goes, oh, no one's going to mark me, are they? Do, bang, 3-1, GG, game over. And that's the difference now between this Arsenal team and this Arsenal team 6 months ago, where these runs from midfield weren't being made. Because Odegaard, he's very Bergkamp-esque. He likes to play the ball over the top. He likes to be the provider. He's not going to be the lad that does that, which is fine. But that means someone here has to. For all of this movement to work, you need to be unconventional. You need to be unpredictable. And Xhaka was exactly that. He was at his... The word is industrious, but that's not the word. He has a great imagination on him. Sometimes his mind, his feet don't catch up with his mind, but he just knows almost where to be at the right place at the right time, attacking wise. And because he's got Martinelli, Jesus, Odegaard, and Saka, who are smart enough players to get him the ball, and Zinchenko to cover here when he saunters off, he doesn't have to worry about getting back. He only has to focus on one thing, and that's getting in there. And as a result, Arsenal can come up with stats like this. Passes. 160 passes Tottenham had in their own half. Arsenal had 366 passes in Tottenham's half. The whole of the second half was played in Tottenham's half of the field. Even the XG, you see here, XG set play, that's the free kick that went over the top that Richarlison nearly had a tap in, and the penalty's the penalty. That's 1.31. XG second half, nothing. XG in open play the whole game, not a lot. Compare that to the left-hand side. This was just a game where Arsenal now have an identity, they have a game plan, and they have players who can execute it. And at no stage did any of us really think that Xhaka would be the man that would unlock all this. Get his ability to get from here and find these little gaps here and here and play balls through to Jesus, through to Martinelli, through to Odegaard is the reason why he now has to be marked. He can't just let him sit deep and hit 40-yard balls anymore. You have to cover for him. And if you cover for him, you make room for someone else. And that is why Arsenal have been succeeding over the last 3 months. If you did enjoy this video, again, feel free to leave a like. If you saw something in today's game that I missed, leave a comment down below. If you do want these videos in your inbox on a regular basis, hit subscribe. Again, I'm okay. The head is fine. I'll be alright. No harm done. We'll focus on the positives now, because Arsenal are top of the league, and deservedly so. When was the last time we could say that? We will talk to you next week, viewer. Cheers.